All right, sewer and water. Probably a little contentious right now with the fact that we had to raise sewer and water rates. Just to give you an idea, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the infrastructure is over 100 years old. Water leaks, we know of 3 or 4 homes that still have lead pipes feeding their water, main water line that needs to be replaced. We have issues with the sewers that they have so many cracks in it that they get what's called clear water, groundwater infiltration into the sewer system, which the village then has to pay Walcomet to process. So part of the issue is trying to replace a lot of that sewer system in order to reduce the actual costs that come back to village residents. Right now, if you look around town and you see the work that's going on, Harris lift station is being built at a cost of slightly over, I believe, $2 million. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I was kind of looking earlier. $2 million to build a lift station on Harris Road. Pump 2 and pump 3 are being replaced. Those are very expensive projects going on. This is all funded through borrowed funds. And one of the other trustees has been able to secure funding through what's called safe water loans with the state and clear water loans with the state for sewer and water, which has helped free up some of the borrowed funds to go to other capital projects that need to be done. But in the long run, these projects, when you start adding them up and looking at what needs to be replaced, it goes into the tens of millions of dollars. And you're not gonna fund that out of the tax levy. You really don't wanna borrow a lot. Now, I know from my experience in business, we sit down to a capital project, and this happens in the village, along comes something else that is an emergency, and we all sit there and go, where are we gonna pull that money from? I've listened to people in some of the voter forums and other stuff say, well, let's do this or let's do that. And some of the things they've brought up may cost $100,000 to do. As a board member, you have to look at that and go, where are we pulling $100,000? As board members, we look at it and go, where are we pulling $4,000 if we have an added expense that was unbudgeted? If you were at the board meeting last night, there was discussion about the Lions baseball. That fence has been down since last June when the tornadoes came through. We finally got an insurance payment on it, but the Parks Director is trying to elevate the rec department. He wants to do a little bit more work in there that added about $14,000 to it. And we had to figure out, did we have that in the capital plan? And we did, it was in the capital plan, so we approved it last night. If it hadn't been in the capital plan, probably wouldn't have gotten approved. So sewer and water though, it's the lifeblood of your house, right? Run out of sewer, get a clogged sewer, or run out of water, you're like living in the dark ages. So it's a challenge, I think, going forward. It's going to be a big challenge for the community to figure out how we're going to start replacing old sewer lines. We have a project coming up in there right now. I think the state is saying it'll be 2030, 2029. It's going to be the other work on 67 from downtown going out to the west. I think the city or the village is looking at $6 million as their portion for that in today's dollars. So who knows what it'll look like in 5 years down the road. It might be $6.5 million by then. But that's a lot of water and sewer work in addition to the paving work. So these are the challenges facing anybody who sits on this board to figure out, how does the village do this? I made the comment in the voter forum, you drive to the village hall at Williams, it's probably one of the worst streets in the village, and it's how people get to the village hall. We have a lot of streets that look like that, and to repave a street is very expensive today. So